All right, good morning. This is my further explorations. I sound like Donald Trump. Expeditions. It's my further explorations of using Unity, Blender, and Steam VR with the HTC Vive headset. And a few minutes ago, I did a YouTube live broadcast as I was figuring out how to put the texture onto the solar panels that are on the mock-up of the Greenburgh Hebrew Center, and walked around, got on the roof and looked at those. Now I'm noticing that when the Blender model came in for these windmills with solar panels, it also did not bring in the texture for the solar panels. And while you can't see them from the ground from this guy's perspective, it's worth having. So once again, let's look at how we do that, how we go about this. So in standard assets, no, it's not standard assets. I always mess up where I've put this stuff. It's in, where is it? Materials, models, packages. Where are we when we look for these things? We are in somewhere. Characters. This is standard assets. That's not what we want. It should be under materials TH. It's an inconvenient name. That's why I keep messing it up. It should be renamed something better, which is TH Unity, no, TH Dobbs Ferry VR assets. That's better. Now with that, I can find it better. But you double click on the blend. There's the blend file. You see that file there is the blend. It says down here .blend. So you double click on that to open up Blender. And once you've opened up Blender, you go and you find the area in question, which is this one here. And you right click on it. And then, having right-clicked on it, you want to go to UV editing and hit the period key to zoom in on those solar panels. And then what you're going to do is hit the edit key, which is the tab key, and that takes you into edit. And then you want to go and you want to select all, and that shows what this is maybe a little more tricky than the other one because there's so many different textures on this. So what we're trying to do is there is a wind turbine solar panel that came with it, and really I think what we'll want to do is, well, I'm not sure in this case. What we're going to try to do here is we always save this out, save the image out, save as image, and go to your folder where you're going to put it. That's the Blender folder. We want the Masters of Sustainability Game Development, and we want the Unity VR test, and then we want assets, and then we want TH Dobbs Ferry assets, and we want to put it in materials. And I have another materials folder for some reason. Tons of material folders. I'll put it in this material folder here. Let me bookmark this so that we can find this more easily. Or actually not that. Let me bookmark the Masters of Sustainability area there. Bookmark, no, not even that. Bookmark this here. And then, yeah, that's that there. And then when we go in, we can also bookmark those assets. All right. But we want to go into materials and save this as an image. And now what we want to do is go back into Unity, and it should have updated in materials. There it is, the wind turbine one. And we've got to put it on there. But to do that, we have to select the windmill, and it should have wind solar combo Dobbs high. So it has several different materials on it. It has the light fixture, the metal, and the solar panel, and the logo, and the white paint. And what we want is the solar panel. So we'll go in here, but you'll notice it's locked. Nothing's happening here. So we have to edit the shader. Oh, it's not going to let us do that. All right, that's no good. Let's see. Let's try this again. Don't know if there's any way in here. If we go to select material, there we go. Select material, there's this wind turbine thing. There it is there. And for some reason it seems locked. And I'm not sure why that is. So what we probably want to do is we have to see if we can edit it. And I'm going to pause. So since I can't seem to edit this or do anything with it, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to create a new material. And I'm going to call this the wind turbine solar. And let me give that a color that I can work with. I'll make it orange just so I can see it. And then if I drag that onto there, that is now my wind turbine solar opposed to the other one that was there. And now I can go to my materials folder and find that wind turbine solar and drop that on, supposedly. And maybe not. In that case, here's my wind solar. The wind turbine solar, there it is. So sometimes if it's not working that way, you can go to the albedo, click on the information, and then select it, and it should be listed as wind turbine. There it is. It comes up. Ah, there we go. And then click on it, and now we have the solar information there. And can click off of that. So what do we have in the game now? We have an example of a polycrystalline, because that's the kind that's in there. And then on the roof we have monocrystalline solar panels. So during the game, as you walk around, you can look at monocrystalline and polycrystalline. Now the only way that we're going to be able to see the polycrystalline is to put another staircase around with teleporting. So there's my teleport points, and teleport planes are where these different planes here. So maybe what I will do is I will copy, by hitting the shift key, this whole ladder that I've built, because we know it worked to get us up to the top of the Greenburgh Nature Center. And I will take that staircase and I will copy it by pressing Control D, and then, did it actually copy? No, did it? No, it didn't. I thought Control D was copy. Well, maybe it is. Yes, okay, all those are there from 14 and then 15 and 16. There's my duplicate. And I can then move that over here and go to the top view and move it out and over, and now go to the rotate tool, which can be found with the QWERTY keys, by the way, using the E key, and rotate that, and go back with the Q key, no, with the W key, and move them right in underneath there so that we can get up there and look at those solar panels. All right, so we've got two ladders that we've built to move around. Save this scene, and now we will hit play and put on our glasses. All right, let's see, and get my controller and turn it on. Should come, there it is, in my face. And is the other one going to come up? Okay, oops. All right, so I've got my controllers. He's over there, and we're going to make him walk, by the way, by using the WASD keys. So let me put my fingers. I need to find a way to see what I'm doing here. All right, so anyway, you turn around. I want you to walk over there. We want to follow you down to the windmills. All right, so okay, so now our character is walking toward the solar panels, and I'll catch up with him by, I'm just trying to find on the keyboard. Boy, it's hard to, where are you? There we go. All right. So I will now project myself and follow him. And what's cool is that when I hit the teleport button, he jumps. There he is. All right. So let's have a look at what polycrystalline solar panels look like up close. You stand there in the shade. Stand in the shade, you got your shades on, and we will go. Now, he's going to be there. We're going to climb up our makeshift ladder that we made so we can get right up on the solar panels. And how do we get up, get up, get up? Do we have enough reach to get up? I hope we do. Keep climbing up. There we go. All right, so now you get a very good view of what a polycrystalline solar panel looks like. And let's look at one that might be easier to see. Okay, so standing up here, the polycrystalline solar panel has this polycrystals. The crystals have been smashed together, so they've actually compressed different silicon wafers, and that's why it has that mosaic pattern. And then these stripes here and here are the electrical leads that carry the electrons off. But underneath it is this bluish amalgam of solar cells. That's what makes a polycrystalline panel look the way it does. Whereas, and I guess I can't, can I get over it? It's going to be such a pain. I want to be able to get over to my ladder without having to, there we go. I can get to that part of the ladder, and then this part, and then this part, and then this part, and then this part, and this part. Okay, so as we climb up here, we can stand up and see that the monocrystalline, and I'm standing right in the middle of one, so that's kind of awkward. There we go. This looks more realistic, as if I'm standing around the solar panels. So the monocrystalline ones have individual crystals. That's what you're seeing here, individual crystals not smashed together. So whenever you're looking at solar panels, if you see this ordered pattern of squares or polygons, that is a monocrystalline solar panel, because they only use a single crystal at a time. So that's a single crystal, that's a single crystal, that's a single crystal, that's a single crystal. These are all single crystals over here. That's a single crystal there. Whereas with the other kind, the polycrystalline panels, so these are the monocrystalline on the top of the Greenburgh Hebrew Center. So when we go down to, see, is there a way to jump back over there without having to climb up the hill? No, there isn't. I got to go all the way down to the ground and climb up again. All right. So the polycrystalline, by contrast, everything, it's not a single crystal here. It's all been crushed together. Now this is an example of how we can begin to use virtual reality to teach about these things, bringing real objects into real places. We can make it look better. The Greenburgh Hebrew Center isn't just a big block like that, and Dobbs Ferry High School isn't a big block like that, but we can make it geographically referenced and then bring objects that actually exist on those sites and do these virtual field trips and go where you couldn't go, because at Dobbs Ferry High School you couldn't climb up on a ladder and take a close look at the polycrystalline panels, nor could you go up on the roof of the Greenburgh Hebrew Center and see the panels there easily. So that is this wonderful thing we can do. And also we can start working with the sun and move the sun around so we can see how the shadows are cast to make sure that the placement of the solar panels is correct. And we can even simulate wind to make sure that the windmills are not blocked by the buildings, that they're turning properly. So it's a great technology for that. And that's what we're doing. All right, so we'll get back with you as we do more.